Right, here we go, another edition of What's Involved. So last time we talked, I told you about just coming out of hospital and wasn't feeling too great, and I've got the gash in my leg and the polymyositis was inconclusive. I at least now have a nice scar on my leg, so I can make up all sorts of war stories, which is fairly cool. But there was a raft of blood tests as well. And don't ask me what they were. I don't know. I feel like a pincushion. But they did come back, and the neurologist and the rheumatologist said that they were thinking that it could be SPS. Now, if you noticed the fish tanks in the back, to me, I used to have marine tanks. SPS was a form of hard coral. Little did I know that SPS actually stands for Stiff Person Syndrome. And I was like, okay, yeah, I might have that. Probably in none of, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, so then they decided, no, not Stiff Person Syndrome. So I was, okay, that's a relief. What they said is looks like something called Myasthenia gravis, which is, I guess, like muscle weakness and wasting, which I've been complaining about, on top of the CIDP, just so that we can be clear. Okay, what is the point of going through all of the suffering if I can't share it with you? And that's just me making light of it. Anyway, so they gave me 2 new forms of medication. Also don't know what those names are. Been taking them for about a week now. And I have to say, at this, I'm cautiously optimistic. Those muscle ripping cramps are way down. The pain is down to a pleasant, manageable level 3 out of 10. So that's okay. The biggest change, though, that I've had, and I'm trying to figure out if this is, because I think logically to me it should be something that plays a role, because sleep, I was just not getting any sort of form or quality of sleep. I'm sure I mentioned that I was diagnosed with sleep apnea as well. Man, do I rack up the issues, hey? Jeez. So I got the machine. I was very, very fortunate, and the light of my life helped me out, and we got the sleep apnea machine. It's got a lovely name, CPAP. And yeah, okay, it just conjures up stuff for me. So you strap on the mask and off you go and you breathe, etc., etc., etc. And in the beginning, I kept taking it off in the night, and then if I woke up, I'd put it back on. I seem to be getting a bit better than that. They reckon you need to aim to sort of, between 6 and 8 hours of sleep with the mask on. But I must say, I think it's making a difference. I think the fact that I'm not waking up like 47 times an hour and having these periods where I'm not breathing for almost 90 seconds and blood oxygen levels going down to, I think it was like 72, somewhere around there. And I reckon the whole blood oxygen thing's fairly important. Now that that's happening, I think it's making a difference. But, as with everything, there is a downside. I guess I'm definitely not the most sexy person you could ever wish to sleep next to at the moment. Can you imagine waking up next to that? Actually, it makes no noise, unless, of course, it like comes unplugged or there's a gap around it. Okay, then it sounds like a flippin' turbine. But other than that, it's cool. So new Myasthenia gravis and new medication. I'm feeling a lot more upbeat and a lot more positive about the world. And it's strange, because I used to be very fit and quite strong and fairly muscular. I had what I would call, I don't know, not big bodybuilder muscles, but martial arts muscles, so fast twitch muscle, that kind of thing. And that's just been going, and I haven't been able to do anything. And over the last while, and as I'm talking to you now, I realize that I've just screwed up, because I agreed we were going to go for a walk this morning, and now I'm talking to you. So, whoops. Sorry about that. But being able to do some walking, being able to start doing some exercises, because I was, doing bed exercises. No, not those exercises. I actually had physiotherapist approved exercises where I had to press my knees into the bed, and I had to do this and I had to do that. And I was doing it and it was okay, but we've now progressed a little bit. So let's hope that these are good signs. Fingers crossed. If you are somebody that's battling with this, as I understand it, these kind of autoimmune things seem to come for a lot of people in batches, and the road to recovery and to understanding and to finding the right medication is a long one. So even though I'm upbeat now, I am aware that it might change. So just if you are going through it, hang in there. And I know it's easy to say, and at some stage I will talk about maybe if you are somebody that's living with somebody that has autoimmune issues, just the kind of strain you must be under as well. So we can talk about that, because I've talked about our kind of strain. But if you are living with an autoimmune disease, you're embarrassed about it, and you haven't been able to talk about it or anything, I want to talk about it, okay? I want to talk about the stuff. I want to understand this stuff. There's so much. I mean, when I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, my brain's fizzing with ideas. Unfortunately, the fizz is fizzed out by the time I get downstairs most of the time. But I want to talk about it. I want to learn. I want to hear your stories. I want to share stories. I want us to have a community where we can talk about this stuff and talk about what works and what doesn't work. I was watching a series where these guys are now injecting nanites into people, and the nanites get programmed. And I'm thinking, I could do with some nanites for me. Let's be honest. But what works for you? I've heard that there's superfoods, that there's the vitamins, smart thises and that's, and the next thing. I don't know, okay? I'm a big fan of vitamins, always have been. The doctor told me that all I do is make expensive urine. So, what is your thought? Eat right. What do you do? Let me know. Like, comment, all of those things. And, do me a favor, please. Just hit that little like and the little bell thingy, for all the right reasons. And for those of you who have watched and everything, thank you, man. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And those of you who've interacted, thank you. It's a way for us to share and to get this out there and just talk about, this disease and mindset, and how we can be nicer people when we have it. Because that's a whole nother story. Sometimes I am as grumpy as, I'm very grumpy. So let's talk, okay? Like, share, all of those things. Thank you so much, and take care, look after yourselves, be kind, and I'll chat to you again